Some loves don't end, they just wait. In a quiet town in Vermont, where autumn painted everything gold, life moved slowly, gently, as if time itself had nowhere else to be. Mornings came in soft light, and evenings faded into silence, the kind that holds memories without a sound. And in that stillness, a story began.
They met in the most ordinary way, in a small bookstore, on an ordinary day. A place filled with quiet corners, the soft scent of old pages, and stories waiting to be discovered. Two strangers, reaching for the same book, their hands almost touching. A simple moment, easy to miss, but impossible to forget. He smiled first, soft, unsure, as if he already knew something had changed. She hesitated, just for a second, then smiled back. And somehow, in that quiet exchange, that was enough.
Days turned into moments, and moments into something more. They walked beneath falling leaves, letting time drift quietly around them, laughing without reason, as if the world had softened just for them. In the spaces between words, they found something rare, a comfort that didn't need explaining. It wasn't loud, it wasn't rushed. It grew slowly, naturally. It was the kind of love that feels like home.
They dreamed of a life beyond that small town, beyond the quiet streets, beyond the familiar faces, beyond everything they had ever known. A future where the world felt wide, full of possibilities, and nothing could pull them apart. They talked about places they had never seen, roads they would travel, and a life they would build together. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden light across the sky, they sat side by side, holding on to a moment they wished would never end. And in the quiet of that evening, they made a promise to leave together someday.
But life doesn't always wait for someday. It moves when it wants to, without warning, without asking. And in a single moment, everything they had planned began to slip away. Thomas was called away. And just like that, everything changed. The days felt shorter, the silence heavier, as if the world itself had shifted beneath them. There were no right words, no way to make it easier, only a goodbye hanging in the air, too painful to hold, too real to ignore. A goodbye that neither of them was ready to say.
At first, there were letters, words filled with longing, with hope, and promises of return. They carried pieces of him across the distance, turning absence into something she could hold. She read them over and over, tracing every line, as if the words might fade if she let them go. But slowly, the letters came less. The spaces between them grew longer, the silence heavier. And then, one day, the words stopped coming. The silence grew louder, until it was all that remained.
Time moved forward, as it always does, quietly, without asking, without waiting for anyone to catch up. Life happened. Days became years, and years became memories. She built a life filled with moments, with laughter, with everything that was meant to matter. But somehow, it was never quite whole, and he carried her with him in ways no one else could see.
Then, after decades, something unexpected arrived. A letter, lost in time. Words written long ago, finally finding their way home. It carried a voice from the past, soft but impossible to ignore, and with it came everything they had tried to leave behind. When they saw each other again, there were no grand gestures, no perfect words, only silence, heavy, unspoken, and everything that silence carried. They weren't the same people anymore. Time had changed them, Life had shaped them, but something remained. They sat together, not as strangers, but as two souls who had never truly let go. Some loves don't end. They wait.